And we're going to start just sitting for a moment. Now, if you have your strap, I'm just using a stretchy band. You can use that as well. We're going to take your strap and we're going to start with a little bit of breathing focus. So you'll bring your strap, I'll just tilt my camera down here a little, right around the back of your rib cage, the lower ribs, and then bring it in front. And if you can tie the belt or the strap, whatever you're using, so you don't have to hold on to it. Okay. And so just around, if you can feel for those bottom part of the ribs that are a little bit prominent there, just a little bit above that. And then in general around that area. Okay. And you can sit however you like. You could sit in a chair. You could sit on your bolster, on your blanket. Whenever we use the strap for a bit of breathing focus, it helps you to become aware of this area of your body. Now, that being said, let's just adjust your sit bones. And we'll come into our mudra this morning. This week we're working with Prana mudra. Very, very familiar term in yoga. Prana is the vital life energy. So for Prana mudra, you start with your hands open like this, and then you take your thumbs and you curl your ring and your pinky finger in, simply making really like the peace sign, isn't it? And the extended fingers, the index and middle, stay extended. And then you can turn the palms open and bring your hands to your legs. And this again is Prana mudra. Feel free to close your eyes, lengthening the back of your neck a little bit. And the winds of prana, or the current of prana, is always upward, flowing from the base of the spine upward into the heart, into the throat, into the head. It's this vital energy that fills every cell, helps to restore immunity and free your breathing. Just noticing the free flow of your breath now. Wherever you feel the breath moving. And that's the beauty of the breath, is that it expresses in so many different places. It can be at the base of the nostrils. Maybe you feel it in the chest. Maybe you feel it in the belly. Maybe you feel it between your shoulder blades. Maybe you feel a little bit of lifting as you inhale and a little softening as you exhale. It's all good. Just really taking a moment to connect into your own rhythm. And then bringing attention down around where we have this strap here, right around the lower ribs. And just in the front, where you've tied the strap, can you just sense breath coming in there? Or maybe movement of the torso in this area. When we get anxious or stressed, there's a tendency for the chest to rise up and fall back down as we inhale and exhale. And that often is a sign that we're using our secondary breathing muscles. The primary breathing muscles live more around where we have the belt. So we're just teaching or reconnecting to the body in this way. And now expand the breath or the awareness out into the sides of the strap. And I don't want you to necessarily push your ribs apart. The ribs move a little wider because of the breath, as a response to the breath. Prana isn't something that we push or force. It's the natural flow of energy that's already within us. Now moving your attention to the back of the strap. Just getting a sense of this area. Just tuning in. What is it you feel? Does it feel like a little bit of movement, a little expansion, and a little softening? Can you use just 10% less effort here? And then let's untie your strap, taking the strap aside. Bring your hands together in front of your heart now. Maybe there's still a little bit of echo from where you had the belt though. Breathing a little lower, a little softly into this region. And then from there, just bow your head to this practice, to this moment, to yourself, to each other. Releasing your hands. And you can open your eyes. Okay, so let's come up to stand if you would. We're going to start there today. Just going to adjust my camera. A little bit hard to see there. There we go. So coming up into standing. In Tadasana. And just have your feet wherever they're comfortable, about hip distance apart is good. Letting the arms relax by your side. And just getting a sense of how your head is seated over the top of your shoulders. Nothing you have to change. How the shoulders feel and the connection down through the arms and hands. Feel the front of the torso, the back of the torso. Great. And then bring the arms forward. Palms come together, interlace fingers and press the palms away. So turn the palms over, pressing the palms away. And you may feel some widening through the shoulder blades behind you. Soften the elbows as you just breathe here. On your exhale, release the arms, bring them back behind you, clasping the fingers here, resting hands at the tailbone. And again, just some easy breaths. So now we've contracted the back of the shoulders more and opened the front. Let's do that one more time. Bring the arms out in front, palms together, interlace, and then press away. Can you feel the distinction here? The upper back is more broad. The front of the chest is a little more contracted. Slowly release and bring your arms behind, interlace again. And sensing now the contraction through the back and the opening in the front. On your exhale, release your arms to the side. Inhale, take your left arm up, add a little side bend to the right. Feel the contraction on the right and the lengthening on the left. Inhale, come up and second side. Relaxing left shoulder. And inhale, coming up. Now we're going to side bend one more time over to the right. Take your left hand like a horseshoe. Okay, so your thumb is open. And as you side bend to your right, bring your horseshoe hand right to your lowest rib that you can feel. So kind of where you had the belt on this side. And just simply start to breathe into this horseshoe shape of your hand. So relaxing the left shoulder some. Now the breath isn't, of course, going to go just into the hand, but if we turn our attention there, we start to wake up this area in this side bend. And then move your hand up an inch. So you've got the thumb around the back and the 4 fingers around the front. And just a couple breaths into the hand here. Now, if you want to make the breath a little deeper, that's fine. Now let's go up just a couple inches more. Try not to tense in the shoulder here. And we're just breathing into the ribs on this side. Still in a little bit of a side bend. Let's go one more spot, really close to the armpit here. So your ribs go all the way up to your collarbones. Okay, so a couple of breaths in and out, way up on this side. And then go ahead and rise back up, bring your arm down, and notice if you can sense any difference between the sides of the body. Okay, and then we're going to side bend to the left. Start with the right hand horseshoe down at the lowest rib that you can feel. And a couple breaths here. Relax your head. Just conscious breathing into your hand. Then move your hand up an inch or so. You can sort of feel the rings of your ribs and maybe in between the ribs, the muscles in between. Can you feel the thumb around the back as you breathe in and out? Let's move the hand a little higher. Again, just in a way, if you can, not to tense the right shoulder. One more breath here. And then let's go to the last spot, just kind of under the armpit there. Your thumb will be more on the back of the shoulder blade, fingers around the front. Okay, and then come on up, release your hands. Now take your arms up, turn the palms up, bring the arms to a wide V, stretch wide through the arms, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do that a couple more times. Inhale, feel the whole lift of the torso, prana moving upward, and then exhale, hands to the heart. Now stay grounded through your legs here. Inhale, reaching out wide, and exhale, hands to the heart. Let's do one more. Energizing breath this morning. And hands to the heart. Okay, so I'm going to turn to face the top of the mat now. Sit back into chair pose. Step your right foot back and ground the right heel. Let's come into Virabhadrasana 1. So warrior 1, pelvis faces forward. Let's bring the arms out to the side and lift the arms up on the breath to that wide V. So palms are open. Ground through the legs, and as you inhale, take the current of the breath and go up and just back a little bit. So you might move the arms back. The back bend is very small, just coming through the whole spine. The head goes back. Rise back up now. Bring the arms behind you. Hold onto the wrists or forearms. Straighten the front leg and take a little bow out over the front leg. Variation of pyramid pose here, keeping some bend in the front knee. Stand all the way back up, bend the front knee, warrior 1, arms come out and lift up to that wide V here. So this could be enough of a back bend right here, right? Because we have this back leg in extension already. So you don't need to try and make the back bend any bigger. And then one more time, bring the arms down around behind you, hold the forearms, bow forward, front leg straightens a little bit more. Feel the connection all the way back through the right foot. Come all the way up to standing now. Step the back foot forward, release your arms. Now balance on your left foot. Bring your right knee up, cross the right ankle above the left knee, and opening the knee here, sit back into chair pose. So you're in figure 4, bending the left knee, left hip. Hands can be at the lower glutes here, just to help that awareness of going back into your hands. So we're in figure 4 chair here. Okay, now release and reach back with right leg. One more time, warrior 1. Bending into the front leg. Take the arms wide and open the arms up. Now, can you feel the ribs lift here a little bit? The side ribs, the outer arms, even a little through the armpits, lifting, creating a downward current though through the legs. And then one more time, arms come behind, hold the forearms or the wrists, straighten the front leg, bow forward. Maybe that figure 4 there gave your hip a little bit more love to bend forward over your front leg. And then we'll stand all the way back up. Let's just release the arms and bring the right foot back into Tadasana. So just checking in with your breath for a moment. All right, and then inhale, palms open. Just go up to that wide V. Exhale, hands to the heart. Step the left foot back. Virabhadrasana 1. Pelvis stays square to the front, pretty much here. And then lift the arms up with the breath. So sometimes we have a bit of sluggishness, or we might feel still a little off kilter, maybe from the time change. So we're just coaxing slowly the energy of this vital energy to come into the body. Take the arms around behind you, hold the forearms or the wrists, straighten the front leg a little and bow over the front leg. Connecting down through your legs. Coming back up, release the arms, warrior 1 again. Arms come up. Palms are open. And feel again the length and space along the sides of the body. And one more time, take the arms behind the back, straighten the front leg, bow forward. And any amount. Continually letting the breath flow. All right, let's come all the way back up. Step the left foot forward. Now we'll stand on the right foot. Bring the left knee up. Cross the left ankle over the right knee. Now coordinate the bend back through the right hip, and the right knee goes a little forward. So you're in this figure 4. You can have your hands wherever you like, or hands at the bum. And then release your legs, step it back one more time, left leg back, Virabhadrasana 1. Lift the arms, feel the lift coming all the way from the ribs, through the shoulders, through the arms. Last time, arms behind the back and straighten the front leg some, bow forward. Can you feel the rotators on this right hip here really working to stabilize your leg? Let's stand all the way back up. Release the arms, step the back foot forward. Okay, now we're going to be standing on a block. I didn't mention that you need to have a wall, but if you feel like you want the wall for a little extra support, I think I'm going to use the wall. Just have it there handy. Let's start with the left foot on the block. So make sure your heel is stable on the block here, even if your toes hang off a little bit. And we'll step up onto the block and let the right leg just relax. Shake it out a little bit. Sometimes the hip flexors and psoas can get kind of bunched up in there. So just kind of let your leg relax a little and push down through the left foot now so that your left hip doesn't knock off to the side, out to the left. So pushing down through the left foot, keeping this outer left hip hugging in. So we're really stable on the leg there, okay? Then take your right hand to the top of your pelvis and start to lift the leg out to the right and then back down again. Leg out to the right and back down. Now the whole time here, our aim is not to hike the pelvis up towards the rib cage or towards the shoulder, but rather just the right leg floating out to the side and then back down. So let's do this a couple times specifically now. Go slowly up and pause out there. Pause the leg out in that right angle there. And then take about 4 slow counts to bring the leg back in. I found myself cueing that with the count there. So we're going to go slowly out, pause, and then go really slow, bringing it back down. Let's do 2 more like that. So nice and slow, going out, pause, and then really slow, bringing it back down. Let's do 1 more. When we go slower, we're teaching the muscle to contract and then to release as we go back down. All right, shake the leg again. Step backwards and come off of your block. I felt a lot in the standing foot on the block there. So let's try the other side. So now your right foot goes up onto the block. And again, you just want to check. There's can be a tendency for the hip to fall out to the side. So pushing down through the right heel, hug this outer hip in so we create some stability there. And then just shake out this left leg a little bit. Just feel like right up around the hip, even there's some release perhaps there. Okay. And then just start to take the leg out to the side like we normally do. We'll do a few at your own pace. And notice what you feel there. Noticing the right leg as well, and that how the right hip is having to stabilize here. Okay, then the next time that the leg goes out, we'll pause. We're not hiking the hip up towards the pelvis or towards the shoulder rather. Now let's slowly, maybe to a count of 4, bring it back down, and we'll go out slowly again. Pause there, and then slow it down, bringing back in. Let's do 2 more like that. Slow, really feel the whole movement now as you're coming back down the center. Let's go 1 more. You're utilizing a little bit more energy, going slower. It's just building that awareness. Okay, and then step back onto the floor again. All right, take your block aside. So we've woken up the side body a little and the outer hips. Let's come, we're gonna make our way down to the floor, but we'll start in Tadasana now, into mountain pose, hands to the heart. Take the elbows a little bit out to the side so that you can create some space here on the sides of the chest, just a little bit there. Release your arms. Inhale, go up to that wide V again. Feel the lift through the ribs, through the front and the back and the sides. And then bow forward. Exhale. So you can bend your knees. You can put hands on blocks here. We'll step your left foot back. We'll just do a little bit of a runner's lunge here. So hands on your blocks. Keep the lift of the very top of the left thigh up, away from the floor as you're descending through the front leg. Right, now let's keep the left hand where it is, right hand on the pelvis. Now I like you to turn. When you turn, lift the right side of the pelvis up a little bit. So let it turn upward as this knee stays bent. So we're stretching out this right side of the leg and hip here. And then bring your hand down to the floor. Let's slowly step the back foot forward. We'll just do a switch here. Bring your right foot back. Hands on blocks on either side of your front ankle. Very top of this right thigh lifts away from the floor. Nice slow breathing. Okay, right hand stays on the block, left hand to the pelvis. Now again, we're turning to the left, but letting the left side of the pelvis lift a little bit. So it's strong and stretching at the same time. So your pelvis will not hold on to that cup of tea on the back of the sacrum for sure, because you're tilting there. And then go ahead and come on down. Bring your back knee to the floor. Bring your front foot back. Take your blocks to the side for a moment. Walk the hands forward, shift the hips back for a moment, tuck the toes under, stretch along the sides of the torso. Feel the length from pinky fingers all the way back through the hips. And then come back into table position. Now let's tuck the toes. Check in with your spine here. Create like a nice, just a nice neutral spine, and lift your knees 1 inch off the floor. Just pause there. You can feel probably some contraction around the torso. You can hear it in my voice too. That's your diaphragm contracting. Okay, set the knees back down. Take a nice breath. And then one more time, hover the knees. And then move the hips back and then up towards the sky into down dog. However you like here, you can pedal your heels. You could stretch down through one leg at a time. You can shimmy your hips a little side to side. Come back through the middle now. Let's come forward into a plank pose. Knees, thighs, and belly down to the floor. Take the arms alongside your legs, palms face inward. Lengthen the back of your neck. Just let yourself just be here a moment, gazing down at the mat. And then slowly we'll contract the back body. So lifting the legs a little bit, arms, shoulders, head. Just enough that you feel the whole back line. Lifting a bit away from the floor. Let's lower back down. We'll do that twice more. Shalabhasana. Now you don't have to pull the shoulders down away from your ears. Just breathe as you're lifting and lower back down. Let's do one more time. Stay with your breath. And lower all the way back down, hands to the sides of the chest. Press up into a table position once again. So hands will be under the shoulders. Now we're going to take your left hand across and find your right shoulder blade here. So fingertips are somewhere around just beside your upper arm here. There's your shoulder blade there. Turn your chest to face the floor so the breastbone faces the floor here, and just check in that you're not in a cat pose. Okay, so let your spine fall into more neutral position. And then pushing down through the right hand a little bit. I'm going to rotate the chest to the right towards that straight arm. And then push into the right hand to unrotate. And let's do that a couple more times. So we're turning towards the right arm, rotating back to center. Let's do just 4 of these. And see if you can really feel your rib cage, your upper back is what is moving here, not so much the pelvis. All right, and then bring your left hand to the floor and we'll do the other side. So reach the right hand over and across just to feel the little border of the shoulder blade there. Start with your breastbone facing the earth and then turn slowly. When we have a lot of stress and tension going on in our life, we hold our breath unconsciously, I think. The ribs can really start to lock down a little to support as best they can in their own way. So the 4th one here I'm on, you can do about 4 of those and then release. So we're just slowly bringing some life energy through the rib cage. Now crawl your hands over to the right and draw your hips to the left. Making a little C shape with your spine. So you feel the left side lengthening and the right side contracting. And then we'll climb over onto the other side here, left, hands to the left, and making a little C shape with your torso again. Hips go back. a lovely stretch for the whole side of the body.